Show here, Big 550 KTRS. Kyle Parks, the chef and culinary instructor at La Cole Culinaire, is sponsored by Twisted Tree Steakhouse. Congratulations to Twisted Tree. They're up to their second anniversary. That's run by the Seiberg family at Watson and Lindbergh in Sunset Hills. Business is going strong. Jimmy Christo taking care of him. Call him at 314-324-3366 or twistedtreesteakhouse.com. Good morning, Kyle Parks.
Hey, how you doing?
When last we left you 2 weeks ago,
Yes, sir.
you teased us with cooking in a beer cooler.
Hey, I do what I can.
And so we patiently waited to find out what cooking in a beer cooler really is.
Well, you know what? I'm glad that you had the patience and didn't just start throwing things in there left and right. You know, I bet you did. I bet you did. The one challenging me about the eggs. I know. So there's so many cool things that you can do with a beer cooler, right? We got Cardinal season going on. It's nice weather. People are wanting to get out of the house, maybe go on a picnic, head to the park. Why not just cook in a beer cooler? Because you certainly can't take your stove with you, right?
Well, usually because it's plastic, so heating it's a bad idea.
Okay, all right. So just warning right here. Don't put the beer cooler on the stove, okay? Or in the oven or anything like that. What you want to do, though, is before you head out, you're going to heat up some water on your stove and then just pour it into the beer cooler. The only thing that you're going to need, though, is to temperature the water.
Okay.
So how much water, though?
Well, I guess it depends on how big your beer cooler is. I would say about halfway full up.
Of boiling hot water or just warm water? Or?
So what we're going to do is we're going to sous vide. And I know people have heard about this technique. It sounds so fancy. I almost want to put my pinky in the air every time I say it. Right? So what we want to do first is if we're going to cook in a beer cooler, we're just going to keep it 100 MacGyver style, right? We're going to grab some Ziploc bags.
Okay.
You put in whatever the food you want, maybe season it up, add some aromatics, little this, little that. And then we want to take out the oxygen, right? Which sounds tricky. You can't just, push out the air and, Ziploc it up. So there's a couple different ways you can do it. My favorite, because I always seem to have a ton of straws handy, is you take a straw, you seal up the bag almost to the end, and then you just suck out the air. Right?
Yeah, okay.
I don't do this at any restaurant or anything like that. It sounds a little risque.
Right.
And I wouldn't do it with, if I were cooking some chicken, that just sounds kind of gross. You're like siphoning gas almost at that point in time.
Right.
The other way is you could take the bag, put it into a pot of water, and the water pressure is going to push out all the air. So you just go down right to the seal and seal your bag up, and you have created a vacuum sealer in your house.
The water doesn't have to be cold or hot, does it?
It wouldn't matter what the temperature is at all. No, it just pushes all the air out.
Wow, that's really smart.
Yeah, it's like the cheapest vacuum sealer you could possibly have.
Right.
Food Saver's going to be mad at me, but that's okay.
But when you cook this food, it has to be airtight.
Airtight.
Like it's not like it can get a little bit of air.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But we want to push out as much as we can, so that way you can seal in all of your flavors.
Okay.
Any particular kind of food that we're talking about, though?
I don't know. A lot of times when I do this, I'll do pork or steak or something of that nature, because I just like to show out at a tailgate. And what's going to be better than showing up with a big old ribeye while everybody else is eating hot dogs? We're going out in style. Not only that, if you really want style points, you get like a blowtorch, and you can finish it off with a blowtorch. You just have flames everywhere. You look like Bill Nye the Science Guy with a ribeye dripping down your chin.
So hold on a second. Okay, so you boil the water. You put the boil in the beer cooler.
Okay.
Yeah. And the temperature should be what?
Okay. Well, I guess let's take a steak, for instance, right? Let's take this juicy ribeye, and we're going to put some thyme and some garlic and black peppercorns and stuff like that in the bag along with it. Seal it up. Then I'm going to heat some water up to about 135 degrees. Because I like my steak right in between medium rare and medium land.
All right.
It makes me happy.
Sure.
But whatever you like your steak to. If you like it well done, you're looking at about 160, medium well 150, 140 for medium, and so on and so forth down the line. So I hit this 135 mark, temp it with my thermometer, pour it in the beer cooler, put my bag in, close it up. You're good for 4 hours in there, and to hold temperature without losing it at all.
And then 4 hours. Okay, so how long does a steak take?
The steak's only going to take about 45 minutes to 2 hours max. The beautiful thing is it could be in there for even longer. It'll never go over that temperature, so you're never going to overcook your steak at all.
So hold on a second. You're telling me that if I boil the water to 135, put it in the cooler, I air seal the steak with all the fixings, throw it in there, it's a 3-hour ride to Mizzou. Once I get set up, the whole thing, the steak's ready to go perfect. Fire that little heat, the torch. Fire it up, and I got juicy steak right there.
Right there, you cooked in your car on the way to the game. It can't get any better.
That is the coolest thing I've ever heard.
That is pretty darn good.
I know.
Now, what about chicken? How long does chicken take?
So chicken would take about 45 minutes or so. A lot of lean meats. Salmon you could do in about 20, 30 minutes.
But you can never overcook it.
You can never overcook it.
And it'll always be warm and moist when you take it out.
Absolutely. You almost can make better steaks in a beer cooler than you can get at any steakhouse in town.
But you do want that sear.
I see shock and awe on faces right now.
Because you want the sear in the,
So that's where the style points come in. So you get yourself a blowtorch. You have flames all over. You could slap it on the grill. Get yourself a little camping heater. Okay. The only thing that I wouldn't do is get the camping gas, because otherwise it's going to taste like, well, a campfire, and that's not what you're going for.
You mean like a Coleman stove? You don't want a Coleman stove,
right? Exactly.
Yeah.
But I could see McGraw.
So just get a little blowtorch. Heat up the sides to get the little char on it, and you serve it, and people are like, "Oh my God, this is the best steak I've ever had."
Absolutely.
What about like corn on the cob and stuff?
You can do vegetables, all sorts of things. I do carrots all the time, right? About the same temperature.
Right.
And the carrots being a dense root vegetable, they can last forever. They come out, they have a perfect crisp, but they're soft on the outside. A little butter in the pack, some fresh thyme.
Ooh,
so you get the whole meal. Put in some mashed potatoes in the bag. The mashed potatoes will stay warm the entire time.
What about baked potatoes?
Baked potatoes? Sure, try it. I don't know. We're gonna get crazy today.
That is the coolest thing. All right, so on the website, do you have any more info on this stuff?
Yeah, I'll give some little tidbits, so then people don't freak out. A lot of times when they talk about steaks and temperatures, I say 135. They're like, "Oh, it's all red. It's all bloody. It's not even blood," which that blows people's minds too.
What is it?
Well, all right. So you know how chlorophyll makes plants green.
Hold that thought.
Okay.
Tune in 2 weeks from today to hear about it. The blood of the steak.
Yeah.
That's
We're
not
gonna
the blood.
shock and awe again.
All right. That is fantastic. That is Chef Kyle Parks, who will come to your house and cook, right?
Absolutely. Well, as long as you got some money, don't call me up.
Exactly.
Website to find out more from you.
ChefKyleParks.com.
That is some good stuff. Chef and culinary instructor at La Colle Culinaire.
Cool.
And that type of cooking is called sous vide?
Sous vide. Yep.
Sous vide.
Yep. Absolutely.
I've seen that like on Bravo.
Yeah, it's almost like you become the top chef in your car on the way to the game.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
850 KTRS.